but what AI is. And third, how can you actually start picking up this? For the students who are asking in chat, the questions with respect to what's the roadmap like, sir, will we be getting certificate, etc., etc. Of course, we will talk about this. So kindly allow us the next 40 to 45 minutes to give us this particular, understanding. Okay. But before going into any particular why, what, how, I want to talk about one question. What is your understanding for this particular question? As per you, आपके हिसाब से, what is answer to this question as per you? Will AI replace you? Will AI replace you? Lot of no's, lot of yes, lot of maybe, no, never, almost there. Okay. So almost entire gradient, no se leke, almost se leke, certainly, the entire gradient is there. Will AI replace you? Like all of us, many academician, many folks, many industry people are thinking about this. That will AI replace us? Has AI the capability to replace us? Right? And this was something which was, there was a research done by the Harvard Business School to figure out the answer for this, right? And before going into the what was the outcome of that research, what I would like to ask you, have you ever got a chance to visit a bank, maybe, a bank you're nearby in your city or nearby place with your dad? I mean, what I'm basically, as a dad, granddad, not right now, but some 10-15 years back. Bachpan mein, when you were like 10-15 years back. Yes. Okay. I'm sure you would have got to see a lot of paper, lot of clerks doing some work, right? Do you think the number of clerks in those banks are same right now? Number of clerks? No, 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 no. Okay. Do you think the number of techies, number of, let's say, software developer working in SDFC in 2018 is same right now? No, again. Which has increased? Has the number of clerks decreased or increased? Clerks decreased. Number of techies increased. Techies. Yes, I'm sure all of you agree to this. And as I can see in the chat, all of you agree that the number of techie, number of software developer, maybe in SDFC or an ICICI Bank or SBI in 2018 was much, much lower than what it is today. And ulta, number of clerks in 2008 were much, much higher than what it is today. So did software replace human job? It did not, but it started prioritizing different skill set. Are you getting this point? And that's why I want to talk about why is this the right time to pick this wonderful skill of AI. Every 10-15 years, and particularly in tech, it happens a little more rapidly. The value, the skill set which are valued changes, right? Someday it was software, right? And today also software is there. Data science is the domain for this current time. AI is, kind of like the superset of data science, which is going to be replacing all of this as people, question. So what is the answer? But my point here is the skill set that people value, the skill set that industry values, the skill set that companies value starts to change, right? With time. And that time in tech happens rapidly. Okay? So the answer to this question came out was that AI won't replace humans, but humans with AI will replace humans without AI. Now, this was the finding of that course. What it basically says is maybe the number of jobs, let's say overall number of jobs remain 100 only, right? But let's say if right now 60 are those who don't know AI, then 1 year, 2 year down the line, that number may reduce to 20, 10, and eventually become zero. Because human who know AI will end up replacing human who don't know AI. And exactly how in banks happened, clerks started to get replaced by humans only, but another skill set. Those who knew tech, those who knew software development. Do you all agree to this or not? I mean, I'm sure all of you would have seen around yourself that yes, the focus of the skill set changed. How many of you have given JEE? How many of you have given JEE? The joint entrance examination, I also gave. How many of you have given JEE? Almost all of you have given JEE. What if I tell you that most desirable branch someday was metallurgy? Not today. आज की बात नहीं है. But आज से 40 साल पहले if I tell you, not 40 साल, even before that, 50 साल पहले, that metallurgy was the most desirable branch. All India rank 1 wanted metallurgy, right? And what if I tell you that someday it was civil? But today all of us know All India rank 1, All India rank 2, All India rank 50, all run for computer sciences. Why is this? Because the prioritization, the value, the skills which are valued right now may not be the skill which is going to be valued tomorrow. That has always been the case, right? And that's what the research also found out, that AI won't replace human, but human with AI will replace human without AI, right? And guys, my next question to you would be, can you name some of the programmers who made it to the top? And when I say top, maybe the top 10 in Forbes list, or maybe the top 500 or 1000 in the Forbes list. Bill Gates. I'm talking about top. I mean, don't if you can also program Lex Fridman. No, I'm talking about the top people, the people on the planet. And I'm just talking from a capitalist point of view. I'm just talking about people who made it big in terms of making good, huge sum of money. Okay. Bill Gates, of course, I think most common name that you guys have put. Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, no doubt. Larry Page from Google. These are the techies. These are those software developers, software programmers. Elon Musk is also one. Peter Thiel, definitely, who made it to the top. And I wanted to put one Indian name as well. So this guy is also about to do an IPO. This guy also made huge, right? He also happens to be a programmer, in case you don't know. But can you name similar AI engineers who made as huge as these folks? Can you take a similar name of as high, respect money as maybe Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg? Sam Altman is one common name I see across all the student mentioning. Any other name other than Sam Altman? Elon Musk, not really an AI engineer. He's more into business now. Andrew Ng, okay, okay, okay. Let me take that. Sam Altman is one name I'm seeing. Why not second name? Why not third name? Because if you ask in tech, I'm sure you will take 5, 10 more names. You can easily, start naming from Sergey Brin to Sundar Pichai to Oracle founder to, and these folks are in top 10 of Forbes, even as of now when we are speaking, right? But why don't so many names come from AI? Okay, someone just did a chat GPT and shared the names of those who made it to the top, and it has names of Ilya, Dario, but trust me, they are not as big as the scale of Bill Gates. We are talking about $100 billion, guys. Why is this? Why do you think is this? Not many names come to not just your mind, my mind as well. And even if it comes, trust me, it will not be at the scale of Bill Gates. We are talking about Bill Gates. Come on. We are talking about Mark Zuckerberg. We are talking about a person who is defining how we spend our day. How many of us open WhatsApp the moment we wake up? Can you guys please maybe mention in the chat how many of you open WhatsApp the moment you wake up or within first 30 minutes of waking up? A lot of yeses. How many of us open Instagram within first 1 hour to 2 hours of waking up? Yes. I'm not going to quote your name, so don't worry about saying that yes, but don't take my name. Don't worry, I'm not quoting anyone's name. My point is, I'm talking about folks who are defining our lives these days. I'm talking about Mark Zuckerberg, I'm talking about Bill Gates. From the computer you are joining to the app that you are using to everything, it's defined by a techie software development or a team of software developers. But not many AI, revolutions or names come to our mind. Why do you think is this the case? Because I'll tell you why. And you may not believe me right now for saying this, but maybe because a few of those are in this session right now. A few of those are in this session right now. A few of those who are as geek or as early adapters as Mark Zuckerberg maybe are in this session just to get that, okay, is this the next wave? Let me grab this. The same way when it happened in 2000. Do you think people knew Mark Zuckerberg in 2000? Do you think people knew Sergey Brin? I mean, some people knew Sergey Brin because Google started in late 90s. But do you think everyone knew Larry Page or Sergey Brin in 2000? No, we didn't. We didn't. Because they were at the same junction back then where AI is today. They were only also looking for, okay, this is a new thing, internet, which is going to, go rapid. Jeff Bezos, the kind of these folks that ये कुछ बड़ा बनने वाला है. Let's pick this. And they are the people who define our day to day. Or if you open Forbes or if in Fortune 500, these are the folks whose name you will see. And we are again standing at one such shift. And I say this is not the first time, guys. Computer revolution in the 80s, huge, Microsoft, Apple, HP, Dell, Cisco, a lot of companies came up. Again, India missed out in this wave. India supported, missed out. Internet revolution, 2000s, companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, YouTube, these came up. But again, we missed out this wave. Internet revolution. Mobile revolution, India kind of partially grabbed this way with companies like Ola, ShareChat coming from India as well, which were used by millions of people, right? So mobile revolution, we kind of grabbed it. And we are standing again at one such shift, guys. We are again at one such shift, which is biggest of all, the revolutions that you have seen right now, computer revolution, mobile revolution, internet revolution. Of course, AI revolution can't happen without those, but it's bigger than all of those. हम आज वहीं पे खड़े हैं जहां पे मे बी 2004 में, 2003 में, 2002 में मार्क जकरबर्ग खड़ा था. I know I'm talking about extreme, but that's how you relate to examples. You don't know many AI engineers right now because there are going to be. And there are going to be people who will define the future 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and we are standing at one such. Right? And that's why I'm talking about the first point. This is the right time for you to pick up this particular skill. And that's why you should consider about learning AI. What is AI? If I just quickly talk about in a line, before I hand over the stage to our guest, Sudarshan sir. Before I hand it over, just in one line, if I could summarize, because Sudarshan sir will be in a much better, manner, will be able to give you this idea in a more relatable manner and even better examples. But if I could just give you one example, it's the ability for computers to learn from data and take decision. All of us, while riding bicycle, have sometimes fallen. What our brains do subconsciously, whenever I'm on turn and I'm not tilting my bicycle and the speed is high, I'm falling. So brain subconsciously started focusing, Acha, let me tilt a bit. Okay, then again I fell. Like, okay, let me tilt a bit and slow down my cycle a bit. And then we saw that, okay, we are able to cross on a turn. And that's how a brain took 3, 4, 5, 6 instances of data points and learned, okay, maybe not consciously, but subconsciously. सब लोग गिरे हैं ना भाई साइकिल से, or no? You haven't fallen from a bicycle while learning. Yes, relatable, no? But that's exactly, maybe we not have consciously thought as a बैठ के अच्छा एक दिन मैं गिरा था, my cycle was not tilted, but that's how brain did it. Similar to that, computers take lot of data, maybe lot of data. Like, let's say, you are joining Harmeet, and you know that, YouTube knows about you, that whenever a new Hindi trailer comes up, Harmeet watches the, trailer within the first 2 hours of getting launched. So if you open YouTube next time, the first video that you see is maybe of the new movie that has launched, right? Because it knows about you, because it has all the data about you, and it takes that decision कि ये video पहले दिखाना चाहिए Harmeet को. So in a nutshell, this is AI. What about AI? It's ability of your computers to learn from data and take decision. And with this, I hope I have told you enough to get you an idea of why is this the right time for you to start thinking about AI, why you should learn AI, and why you should not miss out on this wave, why you should be the geek, the Mark Zuckerberg 2004 who picked this skill and was like, let me build something which defines the future, which defines 20, 30 years from now. Why can't you be the one? You can be the one. So for more about this, what is AI? Where do you see this in your day-to-day lives? And a little bit more about it, I will like to request Sudarshan Iyengar sir to join us. Sudarshan Iyengar sir, guys, is the head of Department of Computer Science from IIT Ropar. I've been fortunate enough to meet sir, and what I can tell you is some of the teachers have students, some of the teachers have fans. And Sudarshan sir is one such who make fans, right? They are so, and I'm also one of those. So with this, I would like to request Sudarshan sir to take over from here. Over to you, sir.
I'm very humbled, Aman. Thank you very much. So, Aman, maybe we'll have a quick conversational style lecture for just 5 minutes.
Sure.
I'm also seeing some chat messages here where people are being a little restless, where they're saying, tell us why should we take up this minor program, tell us something that we do not know and stuff like that. But then guys, I mean, we should understand what is the message between the lines here. Aman is not trying to emphasize something that is like stating the obvious. He's saying something beyond what a typical ChatGPT can say. Aman is addressing the why of it as well, right? If you ask this question, why is there this huge wave of AI right now? Why wasn't there this wave some 10 years ago? Right, Aman? The same thing could have happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Why 2024? And why are we so anxiously awaiting to upskill so many people? Why didn't we do it 3 years ago? Right, I mean, there are two things here. Two very significant questions we are asking. One is, why are we teaching AI right now? AI, the syllabus was the same 3-4 years ago also, minus some LLM advancements, etc. Right? Second is, what is it that is making AI go up like anything today? Why didn't it happen 10 years ago? Right? So I will address this, Aman, and feel free to unmute yourself and then talk to me in case you have any obvious questions. Right? So I have a sincere request. I am from South India. I can talk in 6 languages, including Hindi, but I'm not going to talk in Hindi today because I want to ensure even if one person cannot understand Hindi here, I may want to switch to English. So what we'll do is we'll also have a dedicated Hindi addressing session sometime later maybe, but right now, please, let's stick to English. All right, perfect. So it's also important for you all to learn good communication skills, and for that you have to hear people talking, right? If we keep talking in Hindi itself, you cannot go to an interview and then say I will give interview in Hindi. Right? We are getting you geared up to probably give your best in India, maybe even visit abroad and maybe even work abroad, right? The first thing that you should start learning is English as a language. As you know, Andrej Karpathy, if you've heard of his name, he says, English is a new programming language. So English is that way quite a powerful language today, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, we may have to talk in English. All right, so let's get back to this question. Why is this surge of AI all over? You see, I mean, I'm just going to switch to this mode of why. I'm going to be this 5-year-old. You go to a 5-year-old and then say, take bath, my dear child. The child will say, why? Okay, you don't have an answer for it, actually. You must have lunch right now. The kid will say, why? Let's go out for a walk. The kid will say, why? So let's be that 5-year-old kid and then ask this question, why? Right? I mean, why is AI being so popular all of a sudden? All right. So for that, I'm going to share my screen for a minute. Just a moment. And here we go. Okay, perfect. Why? If you didn't know, there was a time when computers meant a big building. One small computer, by small computer, I mean ability-wise very small, but device-wise, it was this big building. I'm sitting in roughly a quarter an acre building here. Computer was this big, and it would just do bubble sort like programs, nothing beyond that. Anyway, a word of request. I'm not seeing your chat window, so I think you all can sort of settle down and listen to me and not worry so much about typing anything there. I'm not going to see the chat window for some time. I'll tell you when I will see the chat window, then maybe you can start typing and I'll take your questions. All right. So computers would be this big, and boom, 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 boom. It became small, 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 and immediately got into your pockets as a phone. Right? I mean, this is easily, I would say, 10,000 plus times more powerful than the machines that were as big as this building, also called the valve electronics of 60s and 70s. Why did that happen? It happened for a reason, and that was very large scale integration. The idea of integrated circuits, right? And people realize that here's going to be a revolution. We might have a device which can compute, which can sit on our tables. As I said, it doesn't just sit on your tables. It has come into your pockets. It has not just come into your pockets. This is not just a device that can compute. This device has replaced an MP3 player. This device has replaced a movie theater. This device has replaced a big rotatory phone. This device has replaced every single entertainment and communication channel that you can think of in your lifetime, right? How did this happen? Nobody expected, but they saw it coming in the late 90s. They saw two things coming. They saw that programming is becoming easier and easier for people to do. You don't require mainframe computers to sit and program. A simple desktop computer, a big CPU and a slightly bumpy monitor is enough for you to sit and write a code in a simple office. They realize that this is going to become big. We can automate stuff. Number one. Number two, people realize that it's going to be very, very cheap and everybody's going to afford one. And later on came internet. Later on came mobile phone technology. Later on came the idea of communication, high-speed communication. And people said, here's where I should time the market. You know what is timing the market? Let me write that down. Timing the market. If you understand some stocks, you know what I mean by timing the market. To buy, okay, let me not assume that you all know stocks. You all know what is gold. You buy gold, it costs less, so that you can sell it when the price goes up. That's called timing the gold market, right? People timed the market. As Aman beautifully put, he said metallurgy was once the most sought after branch. And boom, it became computer science because people realized that this is a gold mine for us. We know very well this is going to create huge uproar. And people joined, and we saw what happened after 2000. If you don't know computers, you're not a literate. If you don't know English, if you don't know how to speak, we are okay with it. But if you don't know how to use MS Word, you cannot get a job anywhere. Today, if you don't know how to use WhatsApp, our parents, our grandparents, they know how to use WhatsApp, right? So technology has been all-pervading, and computer science became a dominant parameter. We answered the question, why did computer science become popular? Several things happened in the late 90s. Similarly, several things happened from the past 10 years. I repeat, this probably you will not get it. This probably you will not, you search the internet, probably it's a mix and mash of several stories. You are going to take up minor in AI, so you're special, so we are telling only you. Just pulling your leg. Okay, so why this AI revolution? The IT revolution we saw here. Why of IT, right? We'll see why of AI. There was a time when devices, that is in the 1990s, devices were created and code was written. Basically, this was the algorithmic revolution. Okay. Later on came let me remove devices here. Devices comes here actually in the second circle. Hardware and devices on one side. Algorithm and code on the other side. Algorithmic revolution. And people were just looking at these two bubbles. Hardware. See, if you want to have a powerful computer, you just have a big hardware. And then they realize it's not just hardware, it's also about the algorithm that you use. The strategy that you use. Wrestling is not always about muscles. Wrestling is more of technique and strategy than muscles, right? Badminton, tennis, cricket, it's not about how fast you bowl. It's about how well you think what the batsman is thinking, right? So it's strategic. People realize that it's not just about hardware, it's about the strategic way in which you use the hardware. And the coding, there was a big boom. People worked a lot on the software part, how to tweak, how to optimize. Hardware was improving. Coding at the optimization level was improving. The Moore's law was a reality, right? Every 6 years, your hardware is getting doubled. And third bubble, we never realized would happen. We never thought this is useful. Is the data that we ended up collecting. let me write a brown bubble here. It was the data that we massively collected. If you didn't know, whatever Raman was talking about, the Google invention by Larry Page and Sergey Brin, they just looked at dustbin data. They went and looked at what is in the dustbin of the web. Let's look it up. What is where? And then they realized that by looking at this dustbin, we can create a beautiful search engine. Yahoo was sitting and then doing it manually. Google said, no, we don't have to do it manually. Look at who has linked whom on the web. Crawl it randomly, man. That's more than enough. We can figure out a wonderful search engine in the making. And they did that. And today is much more than $1 trillion company. Doing pretty well even now, despite them firing, they're doing amazingly well today. I'm sure the revolution is also because of them. It was their paper that led to the starting of OpenAI, if you didn't know. Anyway, that's for another day's story. But this data bubble created this boom, boom, boom triangle. And this is popularly called the Trinity of artificial intelligence, where people realize that it is mainly about data. Hardware and algorithm to have whatever we could do, we have done it. But then it is data that can create wonders. They realized that data can do wonders. But how? Some 50, 60, 65 years ago, people came out with a model called a neural network. Guys, this is going to be a very high level explanation. Do not go ahead and ask me questions on mathematically show me this, that. I'm just addressing a bunch of people at a scientific communication level. I'm giving a popular science talk. So obviously I will not get into the extreme details. If you want extreme details, you may have to come and join the course. Anyways, so I'll also tell you why you should join the course. What is the fee of this in my opinion and in my perspective, and why we are actually not charging any fees in my sincere belief. We are only charging the operational costs for the course. Anyways, so people were thinking of how do we sort of simulate your human brain to create a model where you input something and you infer something this side. Input something here, infer something here. And they just created this beautiful idea of there is this God-like machine. If it were to be a reality, then it can do wonders. Now let me write that down because it is important. If we can realize this, I like writing, guys, don't mind. I don't use PowerPoint because this should slowly sink into your minds. If we can realize this, then wonders roll. Okay, people did that and then left it. They could not realize it. They just said, if we were to be creating a huge robot, then that can be our army man. We can replace army. Hypothetical question, can we do it? We don't know. Right? Probably you know some of the robots that are coming up right now, which can sort of fight in the war field, but that's again another story for another time. But yes, we said can we realize it? If we can realize it, then it's well and good. But then parallelly, as the fate had it, the gaming industry, where people were complaining, your parents probably were complaining. If you're Gen Z, they even complain today that you play a lot on your mobile phone. When I was a kid, all this Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox revolution we were seeing. And parents were yelling at us, what are you guys doing in life? Always playing, glued to the monitors, glued to the gaming consoles. This gaming console required a different kind of computing. It was not a typical big CPU like this with a big fan and a lot of processing happening inside. It was not CPU. Okay, they realized if you want to do very good graphics, you need what is called GPUs, which are simply small CPUs, but multiple in number. Anyway, I'm giving you a popular science talk. I'm not going to get very technical. Nicely connected, several small GPUs. This is like saying, instead of taking one IIM MBA, I will take 10 BCom students. You think 10 BCom students cannot beat an IIM or a Harvard Business School MBA? It depends on the task that is at hand. The task that I had in hand required more BComs than one Harvard MBA. So this GPUs was the need of the hour for the gaming industry. They realized that we need very powerful devices to do graphic processing properly. And then boom, they went back and then saw, Are yaar, we never realized that this very hypothetical stuff that we were thinking can now be done, realized. I repeat, this network, whatever people did 65, 60 years ago, let's say roughly 60 years ago, they realized this. Theoretically, they said that like this, we can mimic the human brain, etc., etc. But then we need a lot of hardware devices, blah, blah, blah. And then they left it there, right? And then after the birth of all these gaming consoles, they realized that, we have what is called GPUs, and using them, we can realize this very model called a neural network. Okay, neural network was realized in a small scale, but a big neural network realization happened after the invention of GPU. And all those parents who have scolded their kids to not sit in front of PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, should stand corrected today, because it was because of them that the industry flourished and the industry gave birth to GPUs, and scientists realized that the hypothetical neural network in a large scale can be realized on these GPUs. And we have a lot of data right now, a new hardware device, and what is actually missing is the new type of coding that is required for AI. And what is actually missing is how to code a CPU-like stuff, or how do we in general code is one aspect. How do we make machines think? How do we code so that machines can think? In 2012, people realized that they could solve some amazing questions using what is called the convolutional neural networks. I'll not make it technical. I'll only tell you that they realized they could identify handwritten numbers. That was an open challenge for a long time. People could not do it properly. They could do it in time that was sort of should have in computer science terms. If we had Guinness Book of World Records for computer science, it should have entered that in that kind of record time. They realized it, and after that, there has been a huge surge of possibilities using neural networks. People have realized now. The question was, let's not get lost. The why of AI. It's because of this historical accident that happened. The gaming industry told us, here is an answer for your question, accidentally, right? You can realize what has been lying in your kitties for a long time. That, here is a hypothetical model. We don't know whether it will work or not. It may work tomorrow. Let's wait and watch. People who did that were actually dead. Most of them are, at least, right? And with a gaming revolution, we realize this. And now you have a device, you have a realization. You realize that you can fit in a Carnot's engine, a internal combustion engine, to a wheel, and there is fuel. You see, when fuel met engine, car engine, let's say automobile engine, and invention of wheels was always there. We were using bullock carts to move. Wheel was there. We removed the wheels, put them to a car. We removed the chain, the pedal, and plugged in an internal motion. So you just plugged in an engine, and what happened? A big revolution happened. And there was a great demand for people who can manufacture cars. Great demand for people who can sell cars. Great demand for people who can drive cars. Great demand for people who would use cars. Right? So now AI has been the amalgamation of these three entities: the data, the hardware, the software. The car is ready. The demand will be created. We need a lot of people to start manufacturing cars equivalent here. Sky is the limit with what you can do with AI. With this, I give a quick case study. A typical company, small scale or large scale, has generated a lot of data. And in this data lies the gold mine of inferences, which can make a company one. Number two, which will make you realize what is good for you. Plug in a watch to your papa's hand or mama's hand, you will get to know what is their health. It's a simple AI engine, inference engine running in the background on this sophisticated whatever neural network will tell you papa's mama's health has been or has it deteriorated. You don't have to go and get yourself checked for this 300 tests every second day. You probably should do it once in a while, but on a minute by minute basis, you can track on a time series